No room is left at the cemetery in Lviv in western Ukraine to bury any more dead soldiers. Ukraine says it has 55,000 confirmed dead, an underestimate as it only counts bodies it has recovered. 4 years ago, Russia expected a rapid victory, and Ukraine's Western allies agreed. In Lviv, they're opening another site where parents can mourn, and children. In Kyiv, President Volodymyr Zelensky has navigated war, a corruption scandal among his closest advisors, a televised shouting match at the White House with Donald Trump, and still has approval ratings at home that many Western European leaders can only dream of. Some people, I think including President Trump, say Ukraine cannot win this war. Are they correct?
Where are you now? Today you're in Kyiv. You're in the capital of our homeland. You are in Ukraine. I'm grateful for this. Will we lose? Of course not, because we are fighting for Ukraine's independence.
You're not saying that victory means getting all the land back, are you?
In any case, we will achieve that. That is absolutely clear. It's only a matter of time. To do it today would mean losing a huge number of people, millions of people, because the Russian army is large, and we understand the cost of such steps. We would not have enough people. We would be losing them. And what is land without people? Honestly, nothing. And we also do not have a sufficient amount of weapons. That depends not only on us, but on our partners. As of today, this is not available. But returning to the just borders of 1991 is without a doubt a victory for justice.
When Joe Biden was US president, he was worried about Putin's nuclear threats, nuclear saber rattling, fear of World War III. Does Trump think the same way?
We have different views regarding a third world war. I believe that Putin has already started it. The question is how much territory he will be able to seize and how to stop him, not because Russia must not win, but because Russia wants to impose on the world a different way of life and change the lives people have chosen for themselves. Therefore, I believe and have long believed that Putin has already begun this war, and we're preventing it from becoming a broad, full-scale Third World War.
Let's talk a little bit about the ceasefire talks, which are going on. There's talk of another round next week. You have said that both the United States and Russia have told you that the way to get a ceasefire by the summer is for you, Ukraine, to give up the 20% of Donetsk that you still have, those so-called fortress cities. Isn't that a reasonable thing to do? They're both asking for it.
I see this differently. I don't look at it simply as land, or not only as that. I see it as abandoning, weakening our positions, abandoning hundreds of thousands of our people who live there. That is how I see it. And I am sure that this withdrawal would divide our society.
Steve Witkoff, Trump's negotiator, goes to Moscow, he talks to Putin, he comes back, the messages are then relayed to you. It seems to be, a lot of people would say, that he is absorbing Putin's talking points, Russia's narrative, and they are putting it to you and getting you to agree that they're putting you under a lot of pressure.
Today I cannot say that for certain. Do you know why? Because Witkoff says the opposite. I met with your group more often than with the Russians. That is what he says. Indeed, I have had many meetings with the President Trump, while President Trump has only one meeting with Putin. My opinion, they should stop the Russians, not try to please them, because they will lie anyway. They care only about themselves and their own interests.
Donald Trump says different things at different times. But among the things he said is that you are a dictator and that you started the war. It's not helpful, is it, for you?
I'm not a dictator and I didn't start the war. That's it.
Can you trust President Trump, say on security guarantees, because he is a man who changes his mind?
It's not only President Trump. We are talking about America. As presidents, we have fixed terms. We want guarantees for 30 years, for example. Congress is needed. Presidents change, but institutions stay.
What about the personal cost on you? You've got a tough job.
I still have energy. It can't be any other way. We don't know how this war will end, but for now we are not losing, and this is important.
But Vladimir Putin isn't going to end this war, is he? Unless he's under massive pressure, and he doesn't seem to be.
Yes and no. We will see. Yes and no. He doesn't want, but doesn't want doesn't mean he will not.
In eastern Ukraine, the roads into the Donetsk war zone are covered with netting to block the explosive drones that are now the war's biggest killer on both sides. On this trip, I've seen no sign that Ukraine is close to collapse, but I've seen no sign either that the war is close to ending. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Ukraine.